Hello, hello, hello. I'll start that again. I always get it. Always catches on that. Hello, hello. I might have to do something about that. Hello, hello, hello. That was better. I like that. That felt better. Welcome to episode 470 of Prog. And today I'm talking about Queen. It's the eponymous first album from Queen, released 13th of July 1973. Here you go. This is the 2011 remastered edition. Yes, and it's got a bonus EP. That's nice. Oh, let me tell you. Can I tell you a story about this? Can I tell you a story when I was a young lad? Things were different. Things were different when I was young. In the old days, you went to shops and bought things, and and now, because now you just press a button and they come the next day, and you get, or even the same day, if you're with Amazon and stuff. But yeah, I was a lad and I was into kind of like Queen and that, and I was buying the albums, and I used to get, like I said, my pocket money, about £1 a week at that point. I went on holiday. Went on holiday with my grandparents, and I used my pocket money. I bought a copy of Queen, the first album on cassette, from Boots. There was a Boots, Boots the chemist used to sell music and videos and all sorts of media back in the day. It's true, CDs, whatnot. And I had this tape. I was on holiday, and it was the beginning of the holiday. I had to wait like a fortnight to get home, because I was on holiday with them for a fortnight, and I didn't have a tape deck. I didn't have my Walkman at that point. So I had this tape I really wanted to listen to. I was burning to listen to it, because it's what it's like when you've got a tape and you're young and you just don't want to hear it. So I waited, packed in my suitcase and waited, and then we got home and I unpacked and got my tape, sat down with me little tape recorder, player, whatever you want to call it, put it in, played it, and it all come out backwards. Yes, the tape had been spooled incorrectly and it was back to front. Oh dear. Now, thing is I couldn't go to my local boot store and get a refund or get it replaced, because it was only large boot stores that sold music, and there wasn't any larger boot stores in the locale that would have had a copy or been able to give me a refund. So I waited another few weeks. I can't remember how many weeks it was. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Seriously. Until I went to Southend for a day out, because it was the school holidays, and there was a big Boots there, and I gave me a receipt, because you had to keep your receipt, I had to keep your receipt to prove that you bought it, and I got the tape replaced. And so in total it took me, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks to hear this album. Yes. And that story is just kind of, it's there. It's part of the whole Darren Lock experience. That's what things were like. And kids today, they have it easy. Just stream. Everything's just instantaneous gratification. They do not know what it was like. But so yeah, I didn't listen to their albums in sequence. They're kind of all over the shop. But so we did a bit from so it's like the Works and Greatest Hits, and then we went back, and it was like Queen and Queen 2 and whatnot. That's kind of how I picked them up, all out of sequence. But yeah, Queen 2 is a very interesting album. The thing about Queen 2 is it's seeing where this band is going, because by that time you know who Queen are, and what Bohemian Rhapsody is probably the milestone. It's the peak of what they were doing, and you listen to this and you can hear little bits of and that's what I find fascinating. It's those little bits, those little fragments of where you're going with this. Again, another thing, looking at it, I just realised another thing is the tape. The track order was completely different to the album and the CD. They reordered it to match the album. And so it wasn't until, I had the tape, and when I got the CD, and again, it was even with the vinyl, I'm sitting there thinking, this it's all the wrong way round. It's all the wrong way round. I can't remember what the tape track listing was. I'll have to pull it up. There's probably an image out there. I think I may have posted it on my Twitter once, actually. And so the track. So yeah, for me, the album's all higgledy-piggledy. It's a funny album. Not funny, but not, you know what I mean. It starts off with the rocking "Keep Yourself Alive," written by Brian May, and it's they still. I think they still do it today, don't they? It's one of those staples, and you hear. What I like about it is you hear that Brian May guitar sound. It's all there, all fully formed, all ready for you, and it's fantastic. This is followed by Doing All Right. And this is a throwback, I think, to Smile Days, because Tim Staffel gets a writing credit on that one. I like, again, there's a great companion album, he says. Let me see if I can find it on my shelf. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. This album's great. It's called Queen at the Beeb, right? And this is them doing basically Queen 1, but live, and Ogre Battle from Queen 2. But I love this album because it's really good, and I love that picture. I love that picture. I don't know why I love that picture, but I just do. Because on here, Doing All Right, they turn it into almost a duet between Freddie Mercury and Roger Taylor. And I like Roger Taylor's voice. He's got a good rock voice, and he's not used enough. Great King Rat. This is where they're kind of, the little proggy. They're in the proggy area. It's kind of a story, song story. Some great wah guitar on it. I love it. Again, backed with My Fairy King. Again, we're in fairyland. No, you be serious now. There's nothing wrong with playing with the fairies. And yeah, it's that kind of Tolkien-esque. I'm going to use Tolkien-esque. But the reason I've done this album is because I did Led Zeppelin in the last one, and Queen were always being compared to Led Zeppelin, and I've never understood how they could be considered in the same, because Led Zeppelin are very bluesy and American, and these guys are trying to be American, but they're not. It's got such a European flavour to it, and Queen used to get called the poor man's Led Zeppelin, which I think is very, very wrong, very unfair. And that's not because I'm a fan. I think it's because it's just totally off the mark. It's totally incorrect. So yeah, for My Fairy King, again, it's all about the production with that, and you're beginning to hear them using the studio as overdubbing stuff. It's not necessarily a great track, but you see them perfecting the art of their way of doing production, if that makes sense. Liar. Again, love it. Love that song. It's another great, sing-along one, and yeah, I like it. Again, it's a bit like a dry run for Bohemian Rhapsody. The protagonist is in the wrong. Again, they're ill at ease. It's the boy who cried wolf made into song, but again, it's this thing about they're in denial. The same way with Bohemian Rhapsody. Again, people allude to Freddie Mercury being in a conflict with his sexuality, and it coming through songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, possibly with Liar. I don't know. You'd have to ask the man. He's not here, so we'll just carry on. Then we have The Night Comes Down. Again, I really like this one. It's I don't know. It's got some really interesting acoustic guitar picking stuff going on, and there's that guitar, and it's a ballad, but done in a way that only Queen could do. It's really unusual. It just feels a little bit off kilter, and I like that. Modern Times Rock and Roll. Again, it's Roger Taylor doing his finest. Was it? Not that I'm bright, just happy-go-lucky. I don't know. I think that's what he says. I've forgotten. But yeah, I prefer the 2-minute version on this album. But yeah, also because again, I'm Doing All Right. Roger Taylor gets to a whole verse, and it's really earthy, and I do like that. But I'm backtracking. Son and Daughter, really raunchy. I mean, that is a real raunchy song. I really like it. It feels wrong, but it feels so right at the same time. I don't know. And then we have Jesus, which I don't know. I don't feel. Again, my track listing was different. Jesus was, I think, was different. It didn't. I think Son and Daughter ended the album, and then went into Seven Seas of Rye. But here we have Jesus kind of just sticking, and it doesn't flow for me because I'm used to that bloody cassette version, you see. And then we end with Seven Seas of Rye, but it isn't. It's just them kind of working out it's like an instrumental version, but it hasn't quite finished. It's like a little fetal version of Seven Seas of Rye Again, which is pretty curious. You don't see bands doing that, and it's pretty brave of them to put something that is clearly a demo to finish the album. But it just feels right. It's not a perfect album. It's it's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit naive. It's not as polished and accomplished as Queen 2, which again I think was right. This was released in, was it July 1973, and the following year Queen 2 came out, March 74. So they really improved in a short period of time. But then that's what bands were like in those days. It was tour, record, and lots of albums coming out. So in a very short period of time, they really refined their act. And like I say, it's only, was it? Because 2 albums out in 74. 75, Night at the Opera. So not even. What was it? 2 years they get from this to Night at the Opera. I find that amazing, and you've got some really interesting albums in the middle of all that. And this is really interesting because you get a bonus EP of Keep Yourself Alive, Night Comes Down, Great King Right, Jesus, Liar, Mad the Swine, all done in 1971 and 72. Again, Queen took an awful long time to break through. I mean, if you read their early reviews, they were hated by everyone. And if I'd have read those reviews and been in the band, I'd have probably wanted to quit or kill myself. But I'm glad they persevered, and it shows that talent rises. Don't make the analogy about the other stuff rising too, but you know what I mean. So anyway, I've got fond memories of this album. I'm just gonna be really selfish and give it 5 liars out of 5. Yes, 5 liars out of 5. Liars, 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 liars. Pants on fires, 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 fires. You get the gist. I've probably done 4. Someone's counted it. You done it all wrong. You done it all wrong. I'm always doing it all wrong, but it feels so right. Thank you for watching. My name is Darren Locke. I'll be talking about Queen, the debut album from Queen from 1973. Thank you for watching. Only more thing to say, and that is Prog on. Got to go. Got to pick the kids up from school. I forgot the time.